So I'll be honest. I'm not too sure right now. If I ever take Monblano's word like at face value again, and if I believe in it, and you see me on here doing it, just crush me. Crush me. Come to my house and slap me. Whatever it takes. Just do it. Ciao, Bianconeri. I'm Justin Sofro. It's June 7th, 2021, and you are in the Bianconeri Zone. So let's get started. Let's just jump into these news to start off our day. Well, it's a little bit later than normal, but we'll get going. All right, first big news of the day is one you've seen on the headline. It's the Donnarumma Szczesny debacle that we have going on at Juventus. First off, we have Romeo Agresti giving a statement saying that if Juventus had found a solution for Szczesny, Donnarumma would already be a Juventus player. We've known this, we've heard this over and over again, but I'm going to keep on. They have not received any offer for Szczesny. He was offered to Dortmund, but they said no thanks. PSG and Raiola did meet. They talked about Keane and Donnarumma. Raiola has no assurance that Juve can take him, so he's also offering him to Barcelona. Juve must find a solution to Szczesny. Allegri doesn't see Szczesny as a problem. I think he's saying we already have a good goalkeeper. Why not? Why make another investment? Going on, we'll cover a bit of this before I give my opinion. I mean, you probably know my opinion, but we'll go on and cover it real quick. Szczesny will be a Juventus #1 goalkeeper next season. He spoke about it yesterday with the club. Donnarumma is not going to Juve. And that was Mateusz Swiecki. He talked directly to Tech. I apologize if you can look up the name. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. I'm guessing he might be a Polish reporter or something like that, of that sort. Szczesny also said that I have a special relationship with Max Allegri. He appreciates me as a goalkeeper, but also as a human being. For me, it's, the last aspect is very important. The club is counting on me and won't sell me. I also want to stay. It's the perfect situation. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing. So I guess I'm confused. There's been reports about them being offered to other places. Maybe they're not communicating that with Szczesny. Maybe he's just saying this to try to like solidify his position because he feels threatened. I don't know what it is personally, but like I obviously he's heard the rumors and obviously he's talking about it, about the Donnarumma rumors. But I just don't understand how, you know, how there's been no communication between him and the club about like, hey man, we're trying to go after this. Maybe that's how Juventus works, and I just don't understand it personally. Or maybe Juventus. Maybe Allegri really, you know, since he has those reins that he's taken over and he's just kind of saying, I'm good with Szczesny, which unfortunately I'm not happy about. But, you know, we kind of dug ourselves a hole when Juventus decided to push Buffon out the first time to add Szczesny and to, you know, to have him step in as that #1 role. And then Buffon comes back. Szczesny's not looking too hot last year. So now we're SOL. When if we would have just stuck with Buffon from the first place, Buffon would kind of ride off in the sunset, and then we could just usher Donnarumma on in. So that's really, really unfortunate. It's upsetting to me, mainly, and again, I talk about this a lot, but just it means so much to have that #1 you know, Italian or goalkeeper there at Juventus. And I understand there's plenty of stuff. Yes, maybe he, you know, people look at him as, you know, being just money hungry and all that. And I get it. And Raiola's not the best, you know, overall manager or agent to work with and deal with. Cause he's selfish. Yeah, he is money hungry, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something that we work with there. If you guys are fine with Szczesny, that's fine. That's just my personal opinion. And then finally, the biggest news of the day, it's been popping up all over that Donnarumma, new PSG acceleration has begun. Leonardo tries to close the before the European Championships to overtake everyone else, including Juve. This is Alfredo Padula still saying Juventus is in the lead. I've also seen multiple other things reporting that now because of the deal, Juventus is far behind. Maybe that's just some news that's getting, you know, sent out there to try to like quell, you know, anybody involved with Donnarumma or anybody like that, and try to be like, hey, PSG is your best option, go to PSG. I understand they have that cheap money or they have whatever money that they have, but at the same time, I just don't understand how that can be a better situation for him if he actually cares about playing time. If he just cares about that money, that's fine. But when it comes to like, they have their goalkeeper, I think he signed on for a long time on a high budget as well. So I don't know. I still hope that something else happens in the end, but it seems to me that we've been kind of led astray, and then basically, I don't know. very, very little hope that we'll ever see Donnarumma in a Juventus jersey currently. And hopefully, I just hope this, Szczesny steps up and shows some of those, because he had moments of, flashes of greatness that he during a few matches I saw, but he just kind of dwindled there down the stretch. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Allegri and maybe there'll be a better chemistry there going forward. Moving on from that, though, we go back into Ronaldo, and this is Romeo Agresti again saying, in my opinion, it's difficult for the club to come up with the $28 to $30 million million euro for Ronaldo. I think that if he leaves, it will be an exchange. In my opinion, not even Cristiano knows where he will go. Because the sport is saying, in the case of Ronaldo's departure, Juve will focus on a big player in the attack. In this sense, the two main candidates are Gabriel Jesus, Jesus, and Dusan Vlahovic. And then Corriere dello Sport are saying Allegri made a strong request for Dusan Vlahovic. Again, if I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. Let me know, and I'll say it better next time. To reinforce the Juve attack, Fiorentina had never expressed that they were willing to sell the player, and I hope to renew his deal. Juve could think of an and they hope to renew his deal. Juve could think of an operation Chiesa style to convince Fiorentina a loan-to-buy option. I've heard and seen nothing but good things from Vlahovic, and the way I see it is I'm kind of resigned to the fact that, and I think Ronaldo fans will tell you the same thing, that his time in Juventus is done, or it's, you're in the final year of it. So I just, again, would rather Juventus be able to get something out of this. My biggest thing and my main, dream is if he goes back to Man United and you get that Paul Pogba switch, that's what I want. But I'd just rather get something rather than nothing for the club. So we'll see where it goes from there. We'll just keep an eye out. I'm sure we'll hear more and more news. I think they said that he won't make a decision until after the Euros are completed. All right. And then possibly another report by Romeo Agresti is this report saying that Demiral, again, growing potential that he will be out. I don't know why I keep going, but Juventus are open to listen to offer for Demiral, which makes sense. He's probably one of their better players that they actually can, they can gamble with losing. Again, it's unfortunate they do lose him, but he's definitely one of the few really prospects that we have that are decent to sell to anybody else currently, that anybody actually showing interest in. Go back to Szczesny, nobody's showing interest in, but that's because he's a 31-year-old goalkeeper who, once you're that age, you're going to lose a lot of interest. All right. And then going to the midfield, Romeo Agresti is saying Allegri is much more focused on the midfield today. He wants a great player. He's focused on building a midfield. And then Romeo Agresti continues. In June of 2019, Juventus made an offer to Lazio, 55 to 60 million euros. They had an agreement with Sergei, Milinkovic-Savic, but the problem was that Luchino had asked for 90 million. And then, in all likelihood, Juventus will only decide whether or not to do the Locatelli deal after the Euros, is what Giovanni Albanese is saying. The only thing that makes sense to me is that if, for some reason, Allegri feels confident that he can sign a Paul Pogba and get him and make that deal happen, that's where I kind of see where this great player that he's talking about. I don't even know that I would even consider Milinkovic-Savic as a great player. I think he'd be a good signing. Do I think he's great? I don't know about that. And then it kind of, when we go to the Locatelli news, it was one blow after the other. After the Donnarumma PSG stuff started to build yesterday, and then you get the Locatelli news. I don't know. It's kind of infuriating to me to see the steps that this club makes when you have a big prospect. And again, I understand maybe some of you aren't as keen on the Italian players, but to me, I feel like Locatelli has that. He has the talent, he has the ability, and he's young, he's a solid player. I think he'd be great to have at Juventus, and I feel like we'd be missing a huge opportunity if we do put this off, and if we let PSG go and snatch him up as well. Because I guess they have the money to buy everybody. Okay, and then we have a big Super League update. I believe last night it was reported that the UEFA and FIFA have received an official notice from the Swiss Ministry of Justice that they cannot take action against Super League clubs. So that's a huge notice. That's a big deal, especially going forward, because it seems like basically they're saying that you can't penalize them for their actions made in for trying to establish a Super League. So we'll see what that goes and see what that really does going forward when it comes to Juventus's role, and how that may affect Champions League going into next year, because that was something that was highly contested, and they made the final four, or the top four, to make it to the Champions League, but when Sheffield tried to keep them out again. And then finally, some good news. If you watched it last night, if you're in other parts of the world, you probably didn't see it. Even as an American, I tuned into the end, and I'm glad that I did. Saw that Weston McKennie pulled off a masterclass last night for the I believe it was CONCACAF. Is it CONCACAF? It's very whatever tournament. He won the VIP of the MVP of the final. MVP. He won the MVP of the final, and he just pulled off it was just an amazing game to watch. Honestly, I think the match had everything. From the turmoil that came with the Mexican fans and the stuff that they were chanting and the stuff that they did against America, as well as just the events that occurred with the main goalkeeper coming out, and then the second goalkeeper coming in and making that last second penalty save. Pulisic and his thing. I know this is a Juventus channel, but it was just an overall great match. If you enjoyed good soccer or good football, good soccer, whatever, when it comes to U.S. Men's national team play, it's rare to see, America play well. So it was just an exciting game, and it was a nice one to watch McKennie play a big role in that and all that he did. So that's all the news I have for you today. But check in with us tomorrow to get the latest roundup covering all things Juventus. Please feel free to like and subscribe, or actually, please do like and subscribe, as we're growing as a channel. And, all that does is it really helps us continue to grow. And so that way, one day we can provide you more and more content and more, especially when live streams are heating up, and they'll be coming in soon. Don't forget to hit that bell to stay updated, and you'll get notification as soon as the video drops. Follow Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram at Bianconeri Zone, and follow me, Justin Sofro, at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Forza Bianconeri.